Hello friends, myself Ruchi Patel, working as an assistant professor at LJ College of Physiotherapy. Today I am going to take first year topic that is active movement. Name itself suggests it's a voluntary action which is produced by the muscle against the any external forces. Okay, so we'll see the definition in the detail. So, the movement performed or controlled by the voluntary action of the muscle working in opposition to an external force, it is called as active movements. Now we'll see the classification of active movements. It is mainly classified into the four, that is free exercises, assisted resisted exercises, and resisted exercises. So, free exercises are the exercises which the person can perform by him or herself, and there is no specific place or the specific time in which the person has to perform. Or person does not require or do not require any extra, the person to help or to observe the exercises or to assist for the exercises. The next is the assisted type of exercises. So name again itself suggests the assistance. Some form of assistance is required to complete this full movement. So here the patient, other hand or other part of the body is helping to provide the assistance. Sometimes the patient relatives are helping, family members, friends, as well as therapists are helping to assist the movement. The next is the assisted resisted exercises. Many times for the patients, it happens that for the half of the range, patient says that I am able to perform this type of exercises or this half range of movement in a proper way. I need the proper strength, and for that I want the particular exercises to improve my strength. But for the half of the range, I'm not able to perform, or it is not a coordinated proper movement. So this type of patients require assisted resisted type of exercises. For the half of the range, the person require resistance. So the therapist will help to provide the resistance. While for the remaining half of the range, the therapist will assist to complete that range of movement. Okay. Then next is the resisted type of exercises. Resisted type of exercises are mainly two types, that is manual resistance exercises and mechanical resisted exercises. Manual resisted exercises in which the resistance which is produced or which is given by the therapist. Whereas in the case of mechanical resisted exercises, the resistance which is given by the mechanical devices. Okay, so any other form or any equipments which we use to provide the resistance, that is called as mechanical type of resisted exercises. If we use dumbbell, if we use therabands, if we use any the chair quadriceps table, or if we use any spring exerciser, then ankle exerciser, then spring exercise. So this all the exercises are the mechanical exercises, mechanical resisted type of exercises. So let's start for the brief knowledge of free exercises. So free exercises, this image itself says it is nicely showing this the girl, she's performing all the free exercises. And for the lower limb exercises mainly, it is she is performing here the core exercises, and along with that here the push-ups the person is performing, or this girl is performing to improve the strength of the upper limb as well as for the core muscles. Okay, so the definition of the free exercises is The working muscles are subjected only to the force of gravity acting upon the part moved or stabilized. The image itself says it is a assisted type of exercises. So when the muscle strength or coordination is inadequate to perform the movement, an external force is applied to compensate for the deficiency. Next is assisted resisted exercises. So muscles may be strong enough to work against the resistance in the part of the range and not in the other part of the range. So for the half of the range will give resistance. For the remaining half will assist the person to complete the movement. Next is the resisted type of exercises. The forces of resistance to the action of working muscles are systematically increased to develop the power and endurance of the muscle. Now we'll see the free exercises. The uh, we can say it is mainly subjective and objective type of exercises, as well as we can say it is localized or generalized type of exercises. So we'll see first localized and generalized. Name itself suggests localized means the exercises are designed to produce some local or specific effects, like to mobilize a particular joint or to strengthen a particular muscle. So if our concentration is for the particular joint, for particular muscle, then we can say that is localized free exercises are given. But in the case of general free exercises, means it involves many joints, many muscles, and all over the body their effect is produced. Like example, running. As we all know, running has an effect on cardiovascular system. Then it has an effect on the our muscle, neuromuscular system. It has an effect on metabolic system. It has an effect on circulatory system. So there are the many physiological effects which is produced by the this generalized or general free exercises. Then subjective and objective. Subjective means the exercises which are performed more or less in the anatomical range. Okay, so that is anatomical full range or within the full range of motion will ask the person to perform the exercises. Whereas in the case of objective, will give the patient to some target, that is throwing a ball, taking some objects from the shelf, higher shelf, or putting some objects or throwing some objects at the higher place. So these are the example of objective exercise, because here the patient goal is to achieve or to fulfill that uh, movement in a manner of to complete that task. Okay, so once the patient will complete that task, automatically the strength or the range of that particular joint will get improved. Okay, or the particular muscles will get gradually strengthened. Next is the techniques. So we have starting position, manner of instructions, speed and duration. First is the starting position. The starting position is selected and taught to the patient carefully to ensure maximum postural efficiency. As it is free exercises, if we are not showing in a proper way of actual exercise, then might be the chances the patient will perform in a wrong manner, and the patient will not get the proper goal or proper the achieve the patient will not achieve the proper range or the proper goal. Okay, so the instruction and demonstration of the particular exercises is the most important part. Next is the instruction. So instructions, this should be of course in the patient's language, should be in a very clear way. It should be very clear to the patient that what he or she has to perform, and it should not be in the medical terminologies, or it should not be given in a medical terms. So the therapist should give that instructions in the patient's own language, and it should be in a very simple way. As I said, for the starting position, that the therapist should show or should demonstrate the movement priorly to the patient, so that the patient's visual feedback also will get. So patients, once he'll see the movement, that movements just he has to keep the in his or her mind, so that whenever he perform that exercises, he or she can perform in a right way. Next is the speed. The speed of the exercise depends on the effects required. Initially, the slow speed movement should be advised. Gradually, once the patient will get expert, the therapist will allow the person to perform that exercises in the his or her natural speed. But of course, if the patient is performing these exercises in a very fast way or a fast manner, then uh, the patient should be clear for that he or she does not have to use any accessories muscles, or the trick movement should not be done along with the particular particular muscle strengthening or any exercises. Next is the duration. It is widely depends on the patient's capacity. Usually 3 bouts of each exercises with the short rest period. So 3 sets of exercises should be given, like 10 repetition. Then ask the person to take 30 seconds to 40 seconds, 30 to 40 seconds rest. Again 10 repetition, then rest, and again 10 repetition. So in this manner, the therapist should advise the exercises. The effect and uses. Uh, it has uh, it has an effect on the joints mobility. It produces the relaxation, improves the muscle power and strength. It helps to improve the neuromuscular coordination. Of course, by performing this type of exercises by himself, he'll get a more confidence. Then it has an effect on the circulatory and respiratory system. Of course, this all the effects are depends on the patient's cooperation. If patient is not cooperative, and if person or the patient is not performing that exercises at regular basis at home, and after 1 week again that patient will come and say, I'm not getting any effect, I am performing this exercise since 1 week, but you don't have any record. So the patient cooperation should be required. This type of free exercises have advantages and disadvantages. Advantages we'll see first. So advantages are like the patient can perform these exercises by his own way. That is, by his wish time, and which wherever he wants to perform, he can perform. Okay. So the second thing is there is no requirement to go for the physiotherapy clinic for every day if he perform these exercises at home base. The third is therapist. Uh, the therapist can also treat many patients in this way, because the free exercises the therapist can ask the patient to perform by himself or herself. Once the therapist will show the movement, and then he or she can ask, like, perform this exercise for 10 repetition, and in between he or she can treat any other patients in the OPD basis as well. So disadvantages are like another advantages of the this type of exercises is the patient should not have to get depends on other. Like this person should have to give me resistance, or this person should have to give me assistance to provide this type of movement. So person can perform by himself at any time, any place. Okay. Now we'll see the disadvantages. Disadvantages of this type of exercises are might be the chances the patient use strict movement to complete this type of movement. The patients, as we know, cooperation, if patient is not cooperative, then might be he'll not do regular session at home base. Then proper awareness of the exercises. If the patient is not aware about the proper actual exercises, then might be the chances that person perform in a wrong way, and it may cause the injury of any other part. Okay, so this is about the disadvantages of free exercises. For the further detail, you all can refer Dina Gardin book, that is Therapeutic Principles of Therapeutic Exercises by Dina Gardin, as well as you all can refer the Lakshmi Narayan book. Okay. Thank you.